Welcome to Saturdays with Sir Rolland, your weekly training guild on how to slay the dragons of vice with the weapons of virtue. Here's your guild master, the author of the 7 Deadly Dragons book series, and faithful knight to the one true light, Sir Rolland Paterlot.
Greetings, young squires, maidens, moms, and dads. Today is the 4th day in the 4th month in the year of our Lord 2026, and it's a great day to learn the art of dragon slaying. Did I ever mention that 4 is my favorite number? Well, it is. But today isn't special because it's the 4th day of the 4th month. Today is special because it's Holy Saturday, the bridge between Good Friday and Easter Sunday. It's the day when the king is asleep and the world waits in the silence between death and resurrection. Tonight, Catholics all over the world will celebrate the Easter Vigil, the greatest mass of the entire year. It begins in darkness and ends in radiant light. We hear the greatest story ever told. We welcome new members into the church through baptism, confirmation, and First Holy Communion. It is the story of light conquering darkness, life defeating death. I can't wait, but I must wait, which is hard. As Tom Petty once said, waiting is the hardest part. Even though Lent has ended, we are still in the Holy Triduum, 3 days so sacred they get their own liturgical season. And while we wait in this holy silence, we have one final corporal work of mercy and one final spiritual work of mercy to complete our dragon-slaying training in the works of mercy. This week in our read-along, we read the epic conclusion of the 7 Deadly Dragons book series, The Violet Dragon of Lust. This dragon tempts us to love things and use people, but Christ shows us the opposite, to love people and give ourselves away. As at the Last Supper, Jesus declared, "This is my body given up for you." The body is holy. It is a temple of the Holy Spirit. Tomorrow we celebrate not just the resurrection of Jesus' soul, but his body. And one day, our bodies will rise too. That is a glorious truth. And that leads us to today's corporal work of mercy, clothing the naked. Clothing protects the body, but it also veils what is sacred. And yet, for many of us, clothing is something we take for granted. We had closets and attics full of shirts and pants and shoes and coats and jerseys and hand-me-downs, so much that we can hardly keep it organized. Laundry piles up and drawers overflow, and still we have more and more clothes. But not everyone lives that way. I met someone like this when I was running track in college. His name was Barnabas, and he was from Kenya. Kenya sits right on the equator, so it stays warm year-round. And Barnabas came to our university in Ohio in January, right in the middle of winter, to help to run track. He was recruited to run track with us. Now, if you've ever experienced an Ohio January, you know that's a bold move. Barnabas didn't speak much English, and he didn't have much with him, just the clothes he was wearing on his back, basically, a t-shirt, a pair of shorts, and tube socks on his hands, because he didn't own any gloves. We practiced outside most days in our track season, and it didn't take long to realize this guy was going to freeze. He was in a new country, surrounded by unfamiliar people, trying to understand a new language, enduring temperatures he didn't even know existed, and on top of that, he was wearing socks as gloves. So we did something simple. We took him to a thrift store and we got him some proper clothes. Now, I've never been much of a shopper, but I'll tell you, this was one of the most fun shopping trips I've ever had. Watching Barnabas receive things we normally overlook. Warm clothes, a coat, gloves. It changed something in me. At first, Barnabas was quiet and reserved, but over time, Barney, as we called him, became one of our favorite teammates. He started laughing at my not-so-funny jokes and even making some of his own. And let's be honest, jokes are always funnier with an accent. He adjusted. He thrived. And then we discovered something even more beautiful. Barney was Catholic, but he had never been confirmed. A couple years later, he decided he wanted to complete his sacraments of initiation, and I had the honor of being his confirmation sponsor. And to think, it all started with something as simple as clothing the naked. Which brings us to our final spiritual work of mercy. And we save the best for last. And by best, I mean perhaps the toughest. To bear wrongs patiently. Now, this one can feel like it belongs to the blue dragon of wrath, because when people wrong us, it's tempting to lose patience and lash out. But this work of mercy is different from forgiveness. It's about how we respond in the moment. It's about patience with others as they struggle, fail, and grow. And oftentimes, the violet dragon feeds off the red dragon and causes us to be selfish and use other people to get what we want. My story comes from my work as an eye doctor in nursing homes. Most of my patients are incredibly kind and grateful, but every once in a while, you meet someone a bit more challenging. There was one woman, we'll call her Mrs. Smith. She was 96 years old, and I never once saw her in a good mood. I felt like she saw me as a machine that was supposed to just magically produce good eyesight for her. One day I came in to check on a pair of glasses we had made for her, and she walked in, threw the glasses on the table, and said, "These are terrible. I can't see anything. I'm blind." Now I kept my composure and asked her to put them on and read the eye chart across the room. She looked at it for a moment, scowled, and said, "Well, the bottom row's EVOTZ2, but it's fuzzy. Do you even know what you're doing? Are you old enough to be an eye doctor?" And just like that, the dragons showed up. I could hear them whispering exactly what I should say. And I'll be honest with you, Squires, it wasn't very saintly. Rarely do I quote dragons on this podcast, but I want you to hear what it would have sounded like had I listened to the dragon's voice and responded impatiently to save my pride and prove my innocence. I would have said this: "Mrs. Smith, do you know why the bottom row looks fuzzy? Because you're old. You're 96 years old. And do you know why I look too young to be an eye doctor? Because you're old. Everyone looks young when you're old." Now, thankfully, I didn't say that, but I wanted to. I was tempted to. And honestly, I've probably failed many times and responded to these accusations with impatience. But I knew this was a new moment, a test from the trainer. Perhaps the old lady was just Jesus in a distressing disguise. This was an opportunity to practice a work of mercy. Was I going to defend my pride, or was I going to slay the dragon? But by God's grace, I chose to swallow my pride, and I punched those dragons right in the nose and responded calmly. "I'm sorry you're having so much trouble, Mrs. Smith. Let's figure this out together. You're reading the eye chart very well. What exactly are you struggling to see?" She said, "My book. I can't read my book." So I asked her to show me the type of print she was trying to read. She reached into her bag and pulled out a book. And do you know what the book was? My book. Ordinary Lives, Extraordinary Mission. Now, I'm thinking, this has to be a prank. I looked around for some hidden cameras. Nothing. So I said, "Mrs. Smith, that's my book." She pulled it away and said, "No, it's not. It's mine." And I was like, "Yeah, but I wrote the book. Look at the author's name and look at my name badge." And just like that, everything changed. Her scowl disappeared. She lit up with joy. She called her friend right there on her phone and told her that she had met the author of her book. And then she handed me the phone and made me talk to her friend. It was bizarre. It was hilarious. It was beautiful. It was Jesus in disguise. Had I responded the way the dragons wanted me to, with impatience and sarcasm and pride, I would have missed the moment completely. I would have missed that connection, that joy, that encounter. But instead, by bearing wrongs patiently, I got to experience something unforgettable. So there you have it, my squires. The end of our journey through our spiritual and corporal works of mercy, through the lens of dragon slaying. Your challenge this week is simple. Perhaps you can donate some extra clothes to someone in need, but more importantly, I guarantee you this, you're going to have an opportunity to bear wrongs patiently this Easter season, especially if you have siblings and lots of Easter candy. So for me and Sir Topher and Sir Hayden and Lady Jessica and Lady Melissa and Lady Lumina and our whole family here at Extraordinary Mission, we want to wish you a happy Easter and keep slaying those dragons. And until next week, I'll leave you under the protection of St. Michael the Great Archangel, St. Joseph the Terror of Dragons, and Mary, Queen of the Angels, Our Lady of Grace, and the woman whose seed crushed the head of the dragon.
Hey everybody, Sir Topher here. As Rolland mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, today is Holy Saturday, the silence between the death and resurrection of Jesus. And every month, we actually release a blog post. So we just posted one a couple days ago. That was really convicting. That helps me enter more deeply into this mystery. And I wanted to share it with all of you. It's actually written by Sir Rolland's daughter, Lady Hannah. She's an incredible writer, and she wrote a beautiful reflection called Fearful Yet Overjoyed. And I wanted to read it to all of you right now. Okay, so she writes, "Which is more fearsome, sorrow or joy, glory or shame, death or resurrected life? Is it not joy and glory and resurrection? Are these not less familiar, further beyond our comprehension, more foreign to our fallen nature, and therefore more terrifying? My God, I cannot comprehend the agony of your passion because I cannot comprehend its degree. Still less can I comprehend the glory of your resurrection because I cannot even comprehend its substance, its essence, its what it isness. Yet, Lord, this terrifying place of glory is where you ultimately call us, to the very heights of heaven. Grant me the grace of my joy always outweighing my fear. Let me know that what seems so foreign is really what I was created for. Speak into my fear and my joy. Do not be afraid. Let me hear your voice, the voice I know, reminding me that the shadows of you that I saw and loved are still here and still true and still real. More here and more true and more real. There is more of you, and it is glorious, and it is fearful, and it is unknown. Let me strive for heaven, for there I will have an eternity to enter the unknown and know it, to enter the foreign and find a home, to enter the fearsome and be not afraid. Courage, little heart. If the night were not terrifying, then we would surely die of fright come dawn. Oh my gosh, so good, Lady Hannah. Thank you for writing that, and more importantly, for turning your writing into prayer. So if you would like to read that yourself and pray with that, you can find it on our website or in the Training Guild emails. And until next week, stay holy and slay dragons.